All right. Once again, welcome to My Matchmaker Podcast. This is a relationship podcast. We talking about everything that has to do with relationships, from marriage to singleness to divorce to whatever has to do with relationship. This is the podcast. And today I have a special guest, my guy, Nate Burgess. Like I like to call him Pastor Nate because he is a pastor. Uh, and we just gonna dive right into it. What's happening,
What's
man?
going on, brother, man? I'm excited to be here, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, it's a relationship podcast, and the reason that I even started this podcast actually it came from Maryland. We was talking during our courting phase, and we was talking about um, we was trying to clarify if one of us was the one or not, and she said something like, "I ain't worried if you the one or not, cause God my matchmaker," and that thing just stuck in my head, and I was like, "Yo, that'd be a dope something." Like I just didn't know what it would be, and but also that took me along this journey of, do God matchmake? Is God in the matchmaking business? and and I started just going through the Bible, studying God's matchmaking process, and I just noticed so much and learned so much from this journey. So that's why we even doing this. And secondly, is because so many people, and you a pastor, and I've been in your church many times, even had a chance to preach at your church, and your church is full of youth, full of young adults between 18 and 35, and I fall in that category. And one of the questions that's amongst the 18 to 35 is, how do I know if this person is the one? Or I'm just waiting on my husband, I'm looking for a wife, or um marriage is this big thing, like this
I got
big
you. I
goal
got
for
you.
the 18 to 35-year-olds to reach. And so on my journey, I learned that God takes marriage extremely serious, but for the reason he take it serious is not as much as we take it serious. And so just kind of getting into a few things with you is dealing with the young people between 18 and 35. If an 18 or between if an 18 through 35-year-old come to you and is like, "Well, pastor, how do I find a husband? How do I find a wife?" What's your response to that?
Well, what you just said was you said, I wonder if the person is the one. You should worry less about if they're the one and worry about, are you the one?
Mm,
Because you can't control if they're the one or not. You can only control if you're the one. And if you are building yourself up and connecting and lining yourself with who God says you are, you know who to say no to. You ain't got to worry about if they're the one, what they have in them. Do you have it in you first? I've learned that a lot of people, especially younger people, expect something out of somebody that they can't give.
wow.
Like you want something, you want someone to give you something that you should already have. And that's why I don't believe in asking a couple, are you happy or not? Because happiness has nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah.
Like I'm married now and my wife can't make me happy. She met me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like her characteristics does not make me happy or sad.
Yeah.
Like I have to look inner inside me and it's always in you first. Like have you built yourself up to where you're supposed to be? And so right now, I ain't gonna go leave here and be hanging and kicking it with a drug dealer. Cause I know who I am.
Yeah.
If I'm kicking it with him, I'm ministering to him. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
hanging with him. We ain't my dogs. We ain't kicking
He
it.
ain't influencing you.
Two different lifestyles.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to worry about meeting a certain type of dude or female if you know who you are. If you know who you are, you're only in certain places where other people is going the same direction as you. When you leave, you go to college. My daughter went to college, and so she's 45 minutes away. She could have stayed home.
Yeah.
But you go to the dorm to hang around people that's all going towards the same direction. You stay around your city, you'll start hanging out with people that don't go to school, ain't got no
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
But in college is an atmosphere of learning.
Yeah.
It's an atmosphere of learning there. So while you're in the midst of that, you'll get something that you don't get from your bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a certain energy.
Yeah.
So like you don't worry about if somebody the one, are you the one?
Yeah.
If you walk confident enough that you are prepared, I prepared my spirit. I got rid of all my old trauma and all my old stuff. I ain't worried about that. I'm going to attract who I am.
Yeah. No, that's good. Like I always tell people, cause especially guys, they be like, man, she my rib, she my rib, she my other half. I'm like, I'm not looking for another half. I ain't looking for a rib. I'm looking for a hoe. I need her to be whole. I remember when me and Marilyn was in courting phase, that was something I was big on when I was talking to her. I used to always be like, look, are you as confident in yourself as I'm as confident in myself? Because if you ain't as confident in yourself as I am confident in myself, and it's hard to be as confident as me,
Yeah.
but at least have some type of confidence
Right.
like in yourself, because I can't be the one to give you what only Jesus can give.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been in a relationship like that before when a woman was looking to me like, she's like, you supposed to be my peace. I can't be your peace. Right? You supposed to be this. I can't be that. Like I can assist you in whatever peace you got in your with yourself. I could try to keep whatever peace you got peaceful, but I can't be your peace. And I don't expect nobody to be my peace either.
Yeah.
You said something last night at Bible study. It stuck in my head all night last night. Cause I was laughing actually, cause you was like, you was 11 years single and celibate, and I was like, when God told Adam it's not good for man to be alone. Like my name was right in there though. It's not good for Chris to be alone. Paul say if you can't control yourself, you burning with us to get married. And that's not why I'm getting married, but it's not good for me to be alone. So 11 years is crazy to go celibate for 11 years and single. How is that even possible for a man to do, especially?
Yeah. I wasn't alone. You know,
Yeah.
people think they're alone because they don't have a mate.
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. I was with him. I was who was in the fiery furnace with the Hebrew boys.
Yeah.
They wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And so it's not good for a man to be alone. It ain't have nothing to do with no woman.
Yeah.
It's my revelation, nothing to do with no woman. With God, all things are possible.
Yeah.
So with him, seriously with him, listen, it wasn't like my relationships was working out. I came to a truth space. I came to a truth space because I married somebody that God said don't.
Yeah.
And after that, when God blessed me to be out, I was like, I ain't going back the same way. I didn't say I'm about to be celibate for 11 years. I just said I'm about to dive into who God says I am. That was it. I didn't think it can be done either, Chris. I didn't think that could be done. I was like, it wasn't like I love God so much, I'm about to give him my body, my mind.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the story.
Yeah.
I just started taking one step at a time. My pastor told me, Nate, I don't see a date on the calendar for you. You got to walk this thing out until.
Yeah.
And I accepted the word and started looking inside of me with all these treasures I have in me.
Yeah.
My writing ability, music. I just dived into it. I dived into everything. And all when the females came, can we date? No. Can we talk on the phone? No, we can't do nothing. We can't do nothing. This is my season of all the treasures in me. Like I'm about to water everything in me. So it became not, I'm a year celibate. I'm a year. It wasn't like that. After 3 years, I looked up and was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't give this away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now it means something. Like now I got something that's special.
Yeah.
And I knew that this was something big. It was for such a time as this.
Yeah.
Now I got the next generation in my building.
Yeah.
And you know this world is full of lust.
Yeah.
It's full of lust. And they think they love. Lust and love is two different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they think they're in love, but they're in lust because they was never taught what love is.
Yeah.
Can't even fathom what true love is. When love comes in the picture, there has to be something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I gotta love you, that means I gotta look over something.
Yeah.
That means I gotta cover something in you.
Yeah.
Like people think that the lust that they have for somebody. You single, you meet, you like the way somebody look. You start having sex, and then you think you in love. No, you just don't want them to have sex with nobody else. So
Right.
that control factor
Yeah.
is like, I'm having sex with you. I don't want nobody else to have sex with you.
Yeah.
So I love you.
Yeah.
No, you control me. That's
Yeah.
the spirit of lust breeds the spirit of Jezebel, and her number one characteristic is control.
Yeah.
So I control you. That's why people die. You kill somebody, you beat on somebody, because they control. It's control.
Yeah.
Love lets go. Lust controls. Lust is never satisfied.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that I was living every day saying, ooh, I'm so saved. I'm single and celibate. I thought I was going to do it any day now. Any day now, I thought I was going to do it, but I kept on pouring into who I am. And that's enough. Like who you are is enough. And so I don't think the burn thing in the word, I don't think that's God's first option.
No, it's not at
It's
all.
right. It's an outlet. It's a way that we can get by. But it ain't number one. It's walk with me. Love me. Walk with me. Let me finish feeding you. Let me quench your fire. Let me be your fire. And then when you get married, you know that I can do anything. If I can give God my food and give God sex, what can I conquer?
Right.
He established discipline in me, the discipline in me during the time, because it wasn't about sex. It was about establishing the discipline in me to lead his people. You know what I'm saying? So we think it's about that, but God is always trying to do something else. And the number one word in relationship that we should always dig into and keep digging into it in your podcast is perspective. It's always perspective. Lust has a perspective. Love has a perspective. And which perspective are you speaking out of? You really got to know that.
No, that's good because the whole time me and Marilyn was dating, if you want to say that's what we was doing, like I never claimed to say we was dating. I never claimed to say she was my girlfriend, or we never went girlfriend or boyfriend. We never threw them titles out there. So if somebody would ask her, she was very uncomfortable with responding because, like, I never gave her a chance to say that, like, oh, I'm your boyfriend. Or if somebody asked me, like, I just was like, we're courting. Like, I never said we was dating because I didn't want, because I noticed from previous relationships and just the people in my age group in general, when we start adding those girlfriend and boyfriend titles on top of stuff, now we giving the person more responsibility to your life that they don't even deserve. You know, you acting like you my wife and we ain't even married, and then on top of that, you done had sex, you done had a baby with this person, you done moved in with this person, but this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, and now you giving me husband responsibilities, or I'm giving you wife responsibilities, and we ain't even made it to that part yet. And so I know during our courting phase, it was like I never claimed her to be my girlfriend because now it's like whatever you get mad at in regards that you think that I supposed to be doing, you don't have the right to get mad at that because we're not legally, spiritually, or legally like engaged to even act that way towards one another. So your feelings is your feelings. I still had the freedom to do what I was able to do. And no one that I was doing nothing wrong. I'm talking about simple stuff. It's like you can't get mad at me if I get off work and don't call you. Like we're not spiritually or legally engaged for me to be obligated to do that. You're right, perspective. And so, and I think that's why we did have a healthy courting phase because we didn't put more on each other than what was supposed to be put on each other. But once I got engaged, again the perspective was like now for me personally it was like the purpose of engagement was now I'm intentionally engaging to do these things that I wasn't doing. And I think I did a great job during this engagement season. So it's like, sometimes I don't feel like talking or doing certain things, but I'm intentionally now doing it because my perspective have changed of the end goal to this. Where when we first was like in courting phase, it was like there was a possibility of the end goal. When we got engaged, it was like now I'm aiming for that end goal.
Right.
And so I think that's huge on perspective.
Well, and your audience needs to know too, we're men of God.
Yeah.
So we have to have a certain perspective.
Yeah.
Our perspective is not rooted in us, it's rooted in Him. So the audience has to know that we're talking about this perspective from men of God and women of God. Um, we have to turn the page if we're talking about relationships, period. Because so many people out there got totally different perspectives. Um, Now it's getting popular to where men can have more than one wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so it's getting real popular out there. So the perspectives are totally different. And so what we're talking about right now is a man of God perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because we can flip the script, and start opening it up to, and I don't know if your podcast goes there.
Oh, we go anywhere.
Yeah,
We here.
because it's two different perspectives. Like my perspective 20 years ago was not the perspective of now. And so your perspective will change after you walk down the aisle and get a year under your belt. Then you'll be able to decide, did Chris do what he was supposed to do in the engagement period? Like,
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it'll unfold. In relationships, they unfold. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. When every time I thought I knew, I didn't know.
So speaking of perspective, I think that's a great topic. What's your perspective on boundaries? Before you go there, because I'm in agreement with boundaries, right? But when I remember we had a conversation, I was saying getting married naturally comes with boundaries. And I also understand that there has to be boundaries in place. But yeah, so like, what's your perspective on boundaries? And then I kind of elaborate a little bit more on where I want to go.
I want to make sure when you say boundaries, are you more dealing with roles?
And so
is like a
and so that's a great question, because I remember it was a particular situation in my personal life, and the topic boundary came up, right? And so I was just more so like, I'm in totally agreement with boundaries. But what boundary has been crossed for us to even have a conversation about boundaries being crossed, right? And so how I feel personally when it comes to boundaries is like, you're not about to just have a rule list of do's and don'ts. At some point, you gotta like respect me as a mature adult, as a man who chose to marry you. But I do respect boundaries when it comes to, maybe we sat down and discussed, okay, this is what X, Y, and Z, but just you having a checklist, and I'm like, I'm supposed to follow this checklist, and if I don't follow this checklist, I broke the boundary. I'm like, no, that's gonna be a real problem if it's a checklist. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's a common thing, especially in women, because women come off of Cinderella and all the imaginations in their mind of what marriage is and what their husband always wanted my husband to, and so they got these. I call them unfair expectations.
Yeah.
It's unfair for you to think what I should do and I don't know. So when I first started talking to you in Maryland, I give a perspective of, when you get engaged, don't have a date for those boundaries to be learned. You know what I'm saying? Because and most people, I always told you in Maryland, y'all was kind of advanced.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But for most people, they can't handle having a date and dealing with boundaries, because they'll smooth over the boundaries for the date. Because everybody want that date, the wedding date, the day we got to get that date. So I'll just ignore this boundary that I expect out of you, and I'll wait till we get married and expect it. And just expect it instead of dealing with it in engagement. Engage. We have to engage, but some people don't want to engage because the date is coming. I feel like you and Marilyn did a great job at it, but I'm telling you, most people don't. And then they wonder why the week of, I had people the week later call me and say, I'm out. 2 weeks later, I'm out. Because they had a date and all they did was worry about the color, the venue,
Right, right, right,
what we gonna eat,
right.
and then right after all that over with, that day is over with. Now you got to deal with all the things that you didn't deal with, and now people think marriage is horrible. It's not. Marriage is a beautiful thing designed by God,
Yeah.
to show His love for His people and His relationship. And if you're not ready for that, and that's why our first question was, are you the one? Are you the one? Are you putting unfair expectations from previous relationships?
Into this new one.
You feel so you get married, you got 10 strikes against you already. You ain't did the first one yet. Why are we arguing over something that happened the first time? I'm okay with new problems. It's just the old
The
ones.
same ones, yeah.
Same ones.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we ain't never dealt with this before. Why are we so mad? Hey, let's sit down and handle this. That's because somebody has been through something and it hasn't healed, and they're putting on you. So during engagement, you're supposed to, all those things supposed to come out. What do I expect of you?
Yeah.
What do I expect out of my husband?
good.
What do I expect out of my wife? I need to know that. I need to know if I can do it.
And that's how I feel like, to an extent. So, and I ain't saying like she's got a rule book or checklist and stuff like that, but the conversation of boundaries did come up, and my perspective on it is like, what do you expect out of me? Because if you expect me to be who you believe you marrying, then trust me to be that person without having to have a backup protection kit. You know what I mean? Like respect me enough. And again, I'm not saying this is how she feel towards it, but this is generally how I think when it comes to the topic of boundaries. And even if I was talking to a young man or a young couple, just in general, before I would give them this rule book and this checklist, it's like, first, do you respect that person to
Right.
be who you believe that person to be? Now, if you don't, now that's just off anyway, because why is you even considering a relationship and even marriage with someone that you second guessing? But if you respect me to be that person, then you have to give me a chance to be that person as well. You can't allow your mind to uh make me something or make me to do something that I haven't done yet, or vice versa. And so for me, I remember one time we was getting marriage counseling, and the topic came up about uh being friends with the opposite sex or being in public with the opposite sex. And the question came to me like, well, if she was in the studio with another guy and it was just them two in the studio, like, how would you feel? I'm like, it won't bother me. Like why? Cause I know her. Like I know her. It ain't got nothing to do with him. I know her. Well, what if a guy, invited her out to lunch or whatever? It don't bother me because I know her. Now, obviously, it's like, why does God invite you out to lunch? But if it's like a real reason, if it's a business meeting about ministry or music, it's like, I'm not tripping because I know her. But now, if it's just some flirtatious things going on, now I got to question that. And still, I'm not questioning her. It's like, I don't get away from that guy. But her, I'm not, like, mad at. And so, I think, and go back to what you saying, I agree with you 1,000% that even just before you start considering relationship, you got to know you. People always ask all the time, how did you know that she was the one you was going to marry? I said, because I know me. I know what I need, right? It's women that's doing great things in this world. It's women that's in ministry. It's women that I could have easily been like, yo, she was the one. She was the one. But because I know me, she's not the one for me. And so it's important that I agree 1,000%. It's important that we know ourselves, we know God, and we know ourselves, and in that way we able to say yes or no to whatever come our way.
In that aspect, once you find and you believe that person is the one, don't eliminate the beautifulness of discovery. You're not gonna know everything yet. The person you with is still blossoming. They're gonna be something in 5 years that you didn't see today. And then the next 5 years, they're gonna be something else. If we are, especially if we're fruitful, we're plugged into the King. So he's going to be blossoming you, blossoming her. And sometimes people want to know everything. I think the beautifulness about marriage is discovery. Just discovering new things about you, discovering new things about her, whether they be good or bad. Because I've discovered a lot of stuff about myself in this journey and wasn't mad about it. I was like, wow, I do that. It's exciting to learn stuff about me that I never thought that was there. You know, it's going to keep revealing itself. A God-ordained marriage is revealing. It's uncovering. God is still closing stuff and revealing stuff. It's why the word says he's revealing stuff now that he didn't reveal before. And so I know that in 5 years, he probably revealed another part of me that I thought that was okay. You know what I'm saying? Or reveal something in your partner that's, wow, man, I didn't even know she had that. I thought I knew everything. This is great. This is great discovery.
Yeah.
And so enjoy the discovery of the good and the bad. Like, because discovering the bad about you is growth. How you going to grow if you don't find out where your weaknesses is? And as we grow, and y'all in the age where you ain't finished, you ain't finished growing, you ain't finished being him adding wisdom to you. And I've talked to a lot of older bishops, man, and it never stops. The wisdom pour never stops. You would think something today, I might have to apologize for a stance that I had strong today. You'd be like, man, God done revealed to me that it's better this way. So let the discovery just happen, man.
So let me ask you this question: as a pastor, a creative, entrepreneur, man of God, and you married, but because of your career path, so to speak, or your purpose path, so to speak, you encounter so many women, right? How do you navigate with your wife, having a wife, and navigate working with women outside of your marriage?
I did it before her, single, when I didn't have to. Like, I did it single. That's the whole thing. I did it before her. Sometimes when a man meets a woman, it's the first time he's practicing doing the right things.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah.
Like I met you, so I got to get rid of all of this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had all of this all the way up into you. Same thing with women. Women overlap. Yeah. They never single for too long. Yeah. They keep overlapping. So they never get a moment to even judge where they're at. So I never had to even think about it because I was doing it for years before her, single and celibate. And I'm in production and acting, and people always got to come to me and all that kind of stuff. I proved myself to God before her. I paid the cost. And so when you come into my life and try to get jealous with me, I'm going to be upset because I paid for this. I paid for this. Now I got to look at you, wondering why you looking at me and being jealous because I paid the cost for this position. Now it got to be something in you. You're looking at my situation saying, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been, because if you was where I was at, there would be no jealousy. Yeah. I found out that the jealousest people is the cheaters.
Yeah.
Because I had a situation where a man said he would be staying after work cheating with somebody, right? Wow. So his wife said, hey, I got to stay after work. Yeah. What you think he think happening?
She cheating.
She cheating because he is.
Yeah.
And so if I paid the cost, if I proved myself when I didn't have to be faithful, single, I could do what I want up to God. I mean, I got to answer to God. Yeah. But far as another female, I could have did whatever I wanted to do. And I was controlled when I didn't have to be controlled. Yeah. So why should I come to a relationship and make that a worry of mine? Yeah. That's on you. Yeah. I paid the cost to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And so all that got worked out in engagement. Yeah. You're not changing my anointed road because of your jealousy. Yeah. I'm going to do everything in my power not to make you feel like that. Yeah. I'm not going to, I ain't going to make it look like that. I ain't going to just be like, well, I'm doing anything. I don't care what you... Yeah. No, I'm going to do what I need to do. And people know in my ministry, I don't even hug people. Yeah. I just started hugging people after 10 years of pastoring. Because God made me he sent me a lot of fatherless people. A lot of fatherless men, a lot of fatherless women. Yeah. And so sometimes God said, hug her, hug him. my best friend for 30 years. We just laughed about it like, I ain't never hugged you in 30 years, man. Give me a hug. You know what I'm saying? Give me a hug. And so I proved myself. And I'm very confident about that because I know the dues that I had to pay, man. I had to pay some dues. It was some days
Yeah.
that it was like, man. And I stood. And don't nobody know that but me and God. So I ain't trying to prove that to nobody. It's in my walk. It's in my stature. It's in my history. You ain't going to find nobody to pick up the phone and say, man, no. I got an impeccable reputation when it comes to the spirit of lust. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the lust I had, it was under subjection.
Yeah.
Because we have it.
Yeah, no, it's there
We
for
look.
sure.
We
Yeah.
look, but then we turn away and go about our business. So I paid the cost. So when I got with my wife, it was like, this is where I'm going. I'm going here. I believe a man, if you don't have a direction, and me and you talked about this before, God gives you a direction. And so before you get a wife, you need a vision.
Yeah.
Because what is she submitting to? Just because
Who is she? Like, what is she helping you with?
whatever you do.
Yeah, what she helping you do?
So I had a vision when I met my wife. I was in it. My ministry was rolling. I was traveling. I was doing ministry when she met me. And my ministry actually saved her life. She needed a high standard because the anointing on her life was high. But where she came from, it was low. And so the ministry that I had caused her to actually be exalted to the place that God always wanted her to be. And so there was issues. There was a lot of stuff that we had to merge with because she came out of a lot of damage and hurt and trauma, but had a powerful anointing. Came out of a lot of that kind of stuff. And so I had to adjust. And I remember going to my bishop before I said, no, God ain't going to send me this. God ain't going to send me this. He said, why would he send you a woman that don't need you? I didn't like that. I thought that was just another bishop being deep and stuff. It's like, man, I got to change for somebody else. I got to die for somebody. Oh, love your wife like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
Who have you died for? You think you love somebody? Who you died for? What died in you? Now, how can you love and you ain't had no death? Covenant needs a death.
That's good. It's so good you said that because on the way here, I was coming around the bend, and it's a yield sign right when you come around the bend, and yield can mean so many things. And yield for me today, it meant stop.
Stop.
Because it was a car coming, and it's amazing. I start thinking about because a stop sign means stop, but yield sometimes means speed up, slow down, or stop. And one thing I'm learning in this engagement is to yield. I was talking to Reggie yesterday at the church, and we was talking about relationship and his perspective and where he at and everything. And he just made me think about, I was explaining to him about like, cause he kept pushing the man button, like I'm a man, I want to be a man, and I was like, yeah, but being a man, it's not always when I say jump. Yeah, I said sometimes being a man is taking the back seat when you want to take the driver wheel. I said, and what I'm learning is engagement is the yield. Is sometimes I gotta stop. Sometimes my mind is saying one thing, but my mouth ain't saying nothing at all. Sometimes I gotta just shut my mind down and listen to what's coming to me. Sometimes I gotta make the initiative. And I noticed, even what you said, one thing about myself and Maryland, as we'll be married in a few weeks, and it was just I was thinking about this morning. It's just like from this point on, whatever she become from this point on, it's gonna be up to whatever role I play towards that. Because from this point on, I'll be the one who to hear to hear the ideas. I'll be the one to hear the desires, to hear what I want to do, and so it's like, okay, am I gonna be the one to be like, oh no, girl, you ain't good enough for that. That ain't even you, or I'm the one to encourage it, and I'm the one who got some money and gonna be like, okay, let's invest in that, and I was like, man, that's like a lot of pressure, right? To think that from this point on, whatever she'll become, I will have to play a role in. Then you start thinking about kids, and it's like that's the same mindset you kind of have when you had kids. It's like, whatever this child gonna be, it's gonna be because of whatever role I play in this person's life. And I guess, how do you navigate the pressure of that being the head of the household?
That's like a good question, because it's loaded.
Yeah.
So let's start with relationships. People want a relationship, right? Do you know what relationship means? Do you really want relationship? Because relationship ain't as fun as what you're thinking it to be. So first of all, understand what you're saying you want. If you want to have a baby, you got to be a mother.
Yeah.
You want to have a baby, you got to be a father. So it ain't just popping the baby. God made that natural. He made the process natural. You ain't got to, that part of it is pleasure. But the part that you got to think about is feeding it, ensuring it, clothing it. When it rejects you, when it goes away that you don't want it to go, it's like that's the part that comes all in there. So it's like the first thing is being mature enough to know that that thing ain't just that thing. Getting married ain't just walking down the aisle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to know this thing comes with that, and I want that too. The whole perspective of what you're desiring, there's things you ain't gonna like, there's things you're gonna love. I'm a pastor. I can't stand it most of the time. For the work that it has to be done, my flesh isn't like, yes, I get to be a pastor today. This is so awesome. I can say that, but I got to keep it real with what you go through. There's ups, there's downs, but you got to look and say, hey, all of it is in God's hands, the good, the bad. So first, understanding what you really want. Do you understand what you really want? People get married and they have the illusion of what marriage is. No, take a minute, talk to somebody that's married and let them know. Somebody that's successfully married, talk to them. Talk to somebody that got divorced. You know what I'm saying? Talk to both of them so you can understand what I'm getting into is not just the flowers and I got a dress on and walking down the aisle and all that. No, it's a real death. I just said before, covenant needs a death, and that's what you was talking about. Being able to know when to die and when to stand up. When to back up, and let me kill my masculinity for a minute and understand her emotion. You know what I'm saying? You going into marriage and you don't understand emotional and feelings and all that kind of stuff, you will never win, even though you thought you won.
Yeah.
You got to understand that. You ain't got to let it lead. You got to take the woman's emotions and lead it. While still letting her know she is who she is.
Yeah.
You know,
She got the freedom to feel that.
she got the freedom to feel, but you gotta God gave us the ability to navigate feelings. Cause we more like facts. I know you feel that way, but this is the truth.
Yeah, that's me all
You know
day.
what I'm saying? I know you feel that way. It's okay, but let me guide that for you. Trust me. Trust me that I can be able to guide your emotions and stuff like that. So I think that's the worst thing. Like the first thing is understanding what you say you're getting into. And so when I was ready for marriage because I was married before I got married. I was married to the king. You know what I'm saying? So I was married to the king every day, disciplining myself. So my wife, I don't feel like my wife is harder than God. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, the disciplines that you have to walk with God, I don't think my wife is harder than that. So I was prepared because I was prepared single. What are you killing? Single. Why are you by yourself? Are you killing things single? Because if you don't kill them single, it's going to be hard to kill them with somebody else. And they're going to be frustrated. You're going to be frustrated. So I think it's more, and I'm giving you the one perspective. It's that you gotta prepare yourself while you're by yourself.
Yeah. So we can really go into the closing thoughts. I want you to elaborate on this because I heard you say this last night about being single. And you was talking about while I'm single, focus on God. I should be focused on ministry. I should be focused on purpose. I should be focused on doing the things of my purpose and doing the things of God. Could you kind of elaborate on that?
Because I think lust will have you in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. So most people deal with lust, and they think they want a husband. No, lust is just trying to fulfill itself. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want no husband. You don't really want no wife. You know what I'm saying? Lust is just trying to break through in the form of whatever it thinks you want. And so while you're single, if you want to eliminate lust, if you want to eliminate the spirit of Jezebel, you have to dive into who God says you are. Because there's a cleansing process that's going on while you're obeying God. He's cleansing you, healing you, transforming your mind, transforming your perspectives, all while nobody is there. And that's the best time when you can go home and deal with yourself. But if you launch yourself into marriage, kids, and all that kind of stuff, it's like this. You already are 60% of yourself, right? You don't know yourself yet. So you 60% of yourself. Now you get married, and now you got to give half of that to a man. Now you're 30%. And then you'll have a baby, and you're going to give more of yourself to that baby than you even do to yourself. So now you're operating on 10% of yourself. Trying to be everything God wants you to be on 10%. We got to be whole. This thing takes all of you. Whole. He said he wants you to be whole and entire. I want you to be operating on the fullness of you. He said your cup should overflow. I tell people in the church, hey, make sure my cup is overflowing. Because what's in my cup is for me. The overflow is for you. But I ain't overflowing, what do I have for you? Like, I want to quit every day if I'm not overflowing. This is God's mindset on us. I want you to overflow. You know what I'm saying? So before you step into that, overflow in you. And so overflow with the things of God. What's your talent? Because you didn't give yourself your talent. Right. Start there. Put your talent up under a ministry, up under a leader that you see is consistent. Put your talent up under there, and he or she will guide you. Like, I'm going to pour myself into this. And while you're doing that, your spiritual leader say, hey, why don't you lead the women? Why don't you lead the men? And all that is continuous cleansing. And you'll look up and somebody watching you, and you ain't even know they was watching you while you working for God. And that's how you find a man of God. And so if you at the bar, who you think looking at you? If you rolling a blunt, who you think watching you? But if you serving the kingdom of God, you just serving. And you got God, you got me. And so I remember your testimony about Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watched and you were looking. You was like, and when we talked, you was like, I want her to keep doing everything she was doing.
Yeah, don't stop doing what drew me.
Don't stop. Yeah, it drew you. You was watching her and said, man, she in God, man. She doing what I'm doing. And that's the same thing with my wife. I seen the anointing on my wife, and I said, she can walk with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can walk with my level. I ain't got to fight her about going to church. Yeah. I ain't got to fight her saying, Dad, you spend so much time in ministry. No, she want to be in ministry too.
I just seen a guy make a post about working out, and he said, making daily deposits that my future self is going to thank me for.
Come on.
And he was talking about working out. And so when I see Marilyn, I'm like, my future self needs her more than me now. But I gotta get her now in order to grow into what the future me is going to be.
You need a whole podcast for that statement. Like, it's a closing statement, but that is so deep.
Yeah.
Because I was single and celibate by myself. I didn't need her.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't need her. I chose her.
Yeah.
It don't sound romantic because that in the movies you want to hear, I'll die for you.
Yeah.
You complete me. No, I should come to you whole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need you. I chose you. And that should be romantic enough that he could have chose anybody, but he chose me.
Yeah.
And so I'm supposed to come to you whole. You don't want me half.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with these relationships. These women meeting half men.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to work for them. You got to pay their bills. You got to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You got to do all the stuff that they should be a man and already practicing to do that for themselves.
Yeah.
And they meet you and don't need you.
Yeah.
They don't need you, but I chose you.
Yeah.
And so I seen that my wife, with all the stuff and the baggage that she brought from a family of, had a lot of abuse and things.
Yeah.
I seen the anointing that said, my future self, that's going to work for my future.
Yeah.
All I got to do is add what she needs today. You know what I'm saying? And then the future, as we move forward, it's going to be what God wanted to be.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was at.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up, man. We had a mouthful. We could go for another 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
But we gonna end right here, man. For those checking it out, Give them your Instagram, Facebook if you got anything.
Yeah, you can. Our ministry is Glory Movements on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, that's all of them. And then I am Nathaniel Burge on Instagram, and just Nathaniel Burge on Facebook.
And this guy's doing some powerful things around the world, not just in the city. Bunch of plays, movies coming out, music coming out. Church is phenomenal. Like we said earlier, is full of young people on fire for Jesus. So if y'all ever get a chance, look up Glory Movements. Go check out his ministry. Go check out everything that he has going on. I promise you, you would not be disappointed. Thank y'all. We see y'all next time.
Blessings.